Localized SEO, one of the biggest things that could help your company get recognized in the digital atmosphere. What is it? How to improve it yourself, and basically what it makes your business do in the sense of growing, right? So I'm here with my partner Shelly Patrick, Think Flame Digital Marketing, and we're about to just jump straight into it because there's a lot to cover, and we're trying to do this nice and smooth so you understand it all. So Shelly, let's just jump into it. What is localized SEO?
Well, in a nutshell, it is showing up for your local area. So usually it's your city. Sometimes it can be smaller if your city's really big, right? Miami's a huge, area that is broken up by different areas. So you're going to look at that a little differently than you are for a city like Tucson, right? Which is it got a smaller population. So, but the key to localized SEO is that you want to show up when, John Smith down the street is looking for your service, then you want you to show up and not your competitor show up.
Yeah. Okay. So what you're saying is basically SEO. When someone types in, for example, Google, right? That's the most popular search engine out on there. I think what's the statistics on that? 50% of the people use
no, it's like
Google.
80%.
80%.
Like 80% of the market share. It comes up and down, but essentially it's the big boy, and it's still the big boy.
So you got Google, right? The leader in the search engine. And what you're telling me is that what localized SEO is, when you do it properly, when someone looks for what you're doing, you're going to pop up on their phone, on their computer. And what this does is this gives you a potential openness to receiving more views, more clients, just more traction in general. Now,
Right.
what does that mean as far as getting more traction in general through the localized SEO?
So for businesses, it's very specific, right? So somebody types in cleaning service near me, or I want to replace my air conditioner, or I need to take care of mice, or whatever it is that you've got to deal with in your local area. Google wants to show people a service that is in their area. So they want to show you who's down the street, not who's 2 cities over. So those other people, if they've done great SEO work, may still show up, but they're going to show up farther down than your local provider, assuming they've actually optimized their profiles at their website online.
Gotcha.
And so go ahead.
I was just going to pivot a little bit, right? I wanted to kind of discuss what it does for your local business, because you got to think, and don't worry, I know there's probably business owners out there that are listening in or watching right now. There's probably people that just want to generally know how it works, right? You could be in a different area on your phone and look up the closest McDonald's. Let's just say McDonald's, right? And it shows the one closest to you. And then you go to a different area, right? So
yes and no.
Give us a little bit of detail on that.
So when you do that, if you are logged in on your phone as yourself, and you have Chrome as your standard search engine, right? Yeah. So Chrome knows that you live in Miami. So if you go to Cape Coral and do a search there, some businesses from Cape Coral are going to show up, but you could also have businesses show up from Miami because Google knows that you live in Miami.
Okay, cool. So that's actually pretty important, right? If you're looking to localize SEO, like even if you're not where you're not in the place that you're from, you use the example, I'm in Cape Coral, and then I originally live in Miami, there's still a chance that if you have a strong SEO presence, that you're still going to show up even if you're somewhere else.
Exactly. So those are some of the very targeted, like the targeted traffic that Google tries to feed people, right? Because the power of Google is in the amount of people who use their search. And so they want to give those searchers the answers that are going to be meaningful for them. And you want to show up because there is a trust relationship there that, me as someone who's searching for, well, let's go back to the cleaning company. It's an easy one.
Yes.
Right? That they're going to show me somebody that can actually provide the service to me, and that is going to be, reputable. Those reviews are going to matter.
Okay.
All of those things are going to blend into that traffic that Google is going to, like, the results that Google are going to show, and the potential traffic that you're going to get as a business. So that targeted traffic means that the people who actually click on you from that search are really stronger potential clients than something that isn't about local, right? If it's just a big search term with a general term, this is going to be much more qualified. Does that make sense? So
that makes perfect sense. I actually want to again pivot, if you don't mind.
Mhm.
I want to do some myth busting right now, because
Okay.
I hear this all the time, right?
All right.
Everybody thinks that you need an ad spend budget. A lot of businesses think that you need to have some sort of ad spend budget to increase your SEO.
Okay, so ad traffic and organic SEO traffic are actually different things. You can get traffic both ways, and they're both legitimate. They are different. Ad spend costs a lot more upfront, but you can get some faster results. But that's about doing it properly. People have been burnt when they've gone into ads and not targeted it properly, and then spent a lot more money than they need to. That's a whole other discussion.
Yeah.
But for local SEO, what I really like about SEO is it's a slower process, right? It takes, when we work with customers, we tell them we're looking at a full year growth, right? When we are aiming for that 20 to 40% increase, we're not looking about first month, second month. And, in the first 3 months, you're going to see movement. In the first after the first 6 months, then you're going to see, those leads really start to pick up. It's a long-term strategy, but the difference is if you stopped it, which I don't recommend, but if you stopped it,
of course,
you would still rank and you would still maintain traffic beyond that end. Whereas when you end ads, you end that traffic, full stop.
So essentially, for the myth that we discussed just two minutes ago,
Yeah.
for localized SEO,
Yeah.
the ad spend is more of an upfront play, but it has nothing to do with the localized SEO organically.
No, I mean, you can target local traffic with ad spend, as well as, farther distances if you want to expand into new markets. It's just a different performative, option, right? You can do it both ways. We have lots of customers who do both. But if you have a limited budget, and then my recommendation is always to go to SEO, because it's going to give you the bigger bang for the buck in the long
term. It's going to give you the longevity.
Yeah.
So just to reel you in, you mentioned, I don't know, probably 10, 15 times now, targeted traffic.
Yeah.
Right. To the obvious, that just means if I'm an HVAC owner, I'm looking for local homes, residents that need installs.
Yeah.
Right. So what is the importance of targeted traffic getting deeper into localized SEO?
Well, then you're really moving into what you need to do in order to get that traffic. Is that what you mean?
Well, I'm saying you've mentioned targeted traffic.
Yeah.
A bunch of times. So
right.
Localized SEO, how is that targeting specific traffic that is going to get there? Yeah.
So it's targeting traffic by, one, getting in front of people who are local and could actually use your service.
Yeah.
So that's a big one. And then it is helping you when people search on traffic, right? So, I trying to think of the phrase like air conditioning repair or air conditioning replacement. What's gonna show up if you have optimized for it is you can show up in a search. We call that a transactional search, right? Those are people who are looking for a solution to a problem.
Yes.
So that problem is my air conditioning is broken. I need to repair it or replace it. Here we go. Who's going to come up in that search? And the most ideal situation is you're going to come up on that first page search and you're going to show up in the map. And in order to show up in the map, you really need to have a physical location that people can go to in your area.
Yes.
You can still show up in maps without a physical location, but it's a lot harder and you're going to be shown farther down, depending on what your competitors are doing. So, they can see, XYZ company is 5 miles away from me, and ABC company is 20 miles away from me. I'm going to call this one because maybe I'm going to get a faster response. They're just down the street.
Yep.
That's going to help you. And so you can get that person who needs an immediate response, that person who's in your area, and that person can see exactly where you're located, and that can affect their decision. So when I say targeted traffic, that's really what I mean. And if you optimize and your competitor doesn't, then you get, a natural competitive advantage because you're going to show up a lot sooner, a lot higher, a lot more frequently than your competitor will.
Competitor.
It's always a good thing, right? That's the aim.
So one of the things that I really enjoy when it comes to discussing with potential clients about localized SEO, and this is something that a lot of people don't think about, is the improved user experience, right? So a lot of people might just think, oh, it's a bunch of keywords out there. It's about, posting blogs that have to do with, the content that they're trying to target, whatever. That's all good. But people don't think how to make it easier for the person that is searching for you online to make it a better, easier experience. That way your phone rings instead of your competitors, or just in general, right? It doesn't always have to be a competition. It generally is, but just in general, how do you get that improved user experience, localized SEO? People just don't think about that. What are your thoughts on it?
So part of what you do when you are optimizing for SEO is you are making improvements on your website, right? So you're adding those keywords, you're making sure descriptions are appropriate, you're putting content on that is valuable to them. And you want to look at your website and actually make sure that you've got a process that if somebody lands on your site, they know what to do. Right? A lot of websites put up great information and they forget to actually tell their visitors what they want them to do. So, that easy access phone number, the button that says fill out the form or call us, simple things that improve the experience, easy ways to maneuver through your site to the information, the content, right? If you put up some great information about new air conditioning or a special technique with, X company on your site, you want them to be able to find it. They can't find it. They're going to go look at your competitor who may have made it easier for them, right? We have to think about, I think the latest stat was you have 3 seconds to get someone's attention when they land on your website. Goldfish have the attention span of 5 seconds, but people now have the attention span of 3 seconds. And so you really want to hit them with information and ease the minute they get on your site. If you've made it hard, you've lost them.
Another little cherry I want to throw in there was that sometimes when they go to their search bar, they type in the problem directly that they're having. So let's just stick with HVAC, right? Oh, my air conditioning keeps going on and off, right? If you write a blog, or if you put on your website some information on how to fix that, that also is going to help your localized SEO be targeted, and it's going to improve the experience because, hey, this guy already has the answer. All I got to do is call him.
Yeah.
So these are just food for thoughts on, what the improved user experience on localized SEO basically wraps around when someone puts you in the search. Now, moving forward, we've talked about this already kind of a little bit, but let's get a little bit deeper into it. The competitive advantage of having a good localized SEO. What do you, yeah, you want to be ahead of your competition, right? You want to show up first. Does it go deeper than that, or is it just, hey, I'm above my competition when someone searches?
Well, I think it's a blend of the items that we were just talking about. One, you want to show up ahead or at least on the same page as your competitors when potential customers are looking for that service. But also, assuming that they found you and clicked through, the experience that they have on your website is a positive one, right? That you
Yes.
aren't driving them away. Because if you don't make it easy for them to make the choice to contact you and give them a couple of options, because not everybody's going to pick up the phone. There's lots of people out there now that are, have a fear of the phone. They
Yes.
want to text you, they want to fill out a form, they want to contact you in other ways. You need to provide that so that regardless of what kind of person they are and their preference, you've given them that option. So don't make me search for a phone number. Make it clear, make it clickable if it's mobile. And I can't say that part enough. Even if you don't think your customers are searching on mobile, Google
Oh,
cares that
no,
there's still a big chunk of people who prefer desktop, their laptop, their tablet. That's fine. But Google ranks mobile first. So whether or not you think it's important to your customers, it is important to Google. So check it, right? Check on your phone and make sure that you actually can read, can click, can fill out a form for your website on your phone. It's an easy check.
I'm going to throw in a little bit of a snippet here.
Okay.
We've talked about improving the user experience. We talked about what localized SEO is, getting more visibility, right? All that great stuff, the competitive advantage. One of the things that you might be as a business owner right now and you're listening or watching us is you're like, okay, I got all that, but I still need more of an edge. Here's the thing. Google is continuously updating itself, correct? So because Google's updating itself, that means when you update your website, when you update your business profile on Google, when you interact with your reviews, when your social medias, your blogs, all that stuff that you are putting out there, that's good stuff. If you're keeping that up to date, that simple change right there is giving you the competitive edge, because guess what? Google's changing 24/7.
Yes,
It just changed, what, 2 days ago?
they rolled
From
out a big update 2 days ago, the effects of which we will have to see because they don't give us that much info.
2 days ago, and we have to, as responsible digital marketers, be ahead of the curve. That way our clients and their website and their localized SEO stays ahead of their competitive edge. And that's just what I wanted to wrap around.
Yeah.
Now, we're not gonna just talk, Shelly. We're gonna give whoever's listening, whoever's watching, things that they could do, right? Like, we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to start. If you haven't started before, we want you to start. And if you have started, we want you to get better. That's just how we work here. So could we give them some little tidbits of what they could do?
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at non-technical things that you can do as
Yeah.
a company, first and foremost, as you mentioned, the Google business profile, it used to be called Google My Business.
Yep.
That is a must for every company, local or otherwise. It has a lot of weight. It shows up in searches in all kinds of different ways, and it's a free service. Now, we've got lots of tools to help people optimize. We do that as well, but start there. Like, if you're not sure, make sure that you are listed. Too many people don't.
Make sure you're listed, make sure your information's right, make sure you
Yes.
got pictures, interaction, Google reviews. These are all very simple stuff.
The reviews are really important. People ignore that, and there's ways to actually send that out. So I'm glad you mentioned that one because it's often overlooked. People are very, people think I did good work. People should just go and give me a review. Unfortunately, that's not human nature. Even when you ask for reviews, I think the average is like 10% of people will. Not that people don't have good intentions, but they say yes, it goes out of their head. So you have to make sure that you continue to ask, because those reviews show up in the search results. And which would you rather, who would you rather call? The person who has, a 4.9 review, 500 reviews, or the person that has 5 stars but only 5 reviews, right?
Yeah.
So you want to continue to build that. You want to continue to ask your clients that. It's a really easy way to build up some authority. Google pays attention to how many people review you, and that is, again, one of those elements.
Another cool thing about the reviews, just to touch it a little bit more, is having a lot of reviews is more powerful, you already mentioned, than having 5. Most people actually check your negative reviews to see, because I mean, let's be honest, everyone goes, oh, good work, good, thank you, and then you get the negative review. Oh, that you got to make sure that if you have a negative review, responding to it as well helps Google recognize that you're not just an AI bot, that you're actually a human. This also increases the local SEO.
Yes. So a little bit of caution with responding to a negative review. Take a step back. Don't be emotional. Try and take it offline as quickly as possible. Say, I'm sorry that you've had this experience. I'd really like to talk to you about your experience and, your verbiage, and take it offline. Once you've addressed it once, do not address it again. It doesn't matter if you're right. You can't win. Though, like those fights online, you can't win. So don't try and fight them online. Take it offline. You've acknowledged it. You've moved on. And then bury that sucker with positive reviews. Real reviews. Do not try and fake those. But just keep burying it, because people understand that everybody has a bad day. They can have a bad day. You can have a bad day. People are understanding about that. The stats actually show people are more comfortable with a 4.9 than a constant 5, because that feels more real. But you need to address it, and you need to have more positive ones. So that's key there. For non-technical, there's a bunch of technical things that you really need to watch out for, and we won't talk about those. But coming back to the website and the searches, things like, looking for information on my air conditioning turns on and off, making sure that there's content on your site that actually addresses real questions that your customers can have and would search for is really important. And if you aren't sure with, what you should be putting on right away, look at what your competitors are doing. At least match what they're doing as a start, and then you want to go beyond that and provide more than they are doing. But to start with, especially if you're doing it on your own, that's what you need to be looking at. What are they doing? How do I surpass that? And then
so I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we've talked about making sure your Google business profile is correct. We've talked about your Google reviews, making sure that they're answered, they're taken care of, all that stuff. We've talked
for reviews, any of the reviews, like Google definitely, but even a Facebook review will feed into that.
We've talked about as well adding content to your website, whether it's what your competitors are doing, or whether it's something that you want to, you feel like you're running into a lot. The example is my air conditioning keeps turning on and off. You've run into 4 of those this month. Okay, let me put out a blog about it. That way it pops out. We talked about it just a couple of minutes ago. I got a need for speed. Okay. I got a need for speed. This is something that you guys could do. You guys could look up a speed test website.
Google Insights. Just look up Google speed test.
There you go. Come up. You could look it up. You could plug it in. It will show how fast your website is on a desktop. It will show how fast it is on a mobile. If it's not fast, or if it's not, what'd you say, 3 seconds, loading up in 3 seconds? then you might have an issue. But these
Yes.
are things that you could do right now that could help you grow your localized SEO.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add, Shelly, as far as like making your content helpful to your customers? We kind of covered that. Getting your website, your Google reviews, I mean, these are all simple things that people could do. You take 5-10 minutes a day. Some obviously, if you got a bunch of reviews to respond to, it's going to take you longer. But other than that, these are just simple things that get you in the right direction to get your local SEO going.
Yeah, all of those things are really important. And to me, you mentioned the update that just happened,
Yes.
and how that's gonna, that can really affect people's results. And
Yes.
to me, the key is great content is always going to win the day. And so don't ignore it, right? If you ignore that element of your website, your competitors likely are not, and you're going to fall behind. And we don't want you to fall behind.
Hey guys, it's something that simple. Localized SEO, it is a powerful tool. It's not a myth. It's not some sort of legend. It's not some bargain out there. It is the truth. It is the way you get focused up. It's the way you get found digital marketing wise. I'm sorry, digital wise. And then if you don't do it, your competitors will. That is just the way the world is going. Google's taking strides and strides and strides to get better and better for you to be put up there. That's just the way it is. Again, this could all get technical, right, Shelly? But we're gonna keep it as simple as possible. We're gonna wrap it up. We threw a lot of information out there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And on top of that, if there's any questions, right, contact us. We are more than happy to help. Other than that, have a great day, Shelly. Any last words?
No, I think that wraps it up. We're happy to help, but there's lots of great tools out there. So take a
There you
look,
go.
get started, take that first step.
There you go. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Bye.